Good morning students. In this class we will be doing class 10 real numbers. It is a continuation of the previous class. In the previous class I have completed exercise 1.2 that is based on fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So this class is also a continuation of two applications of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So first application is rational, proving the numbers are proving root 2, root 3, root 5 are irrational. That is irrationality we are going to prove, first one. And then the decimal expansion of rational numbers. The decimal expansion of rational numbers, whether it is terminating or non-terminating recurring decimal expansion. So these two applications we are going to learn in this class. So the first one is prove root 2 is irrational. This sum is very important. So how it is given in the textbook, in the same way, if we know the procedure, if we know to give the proof, it will be better. Okay, so the first one is root 2 is irrational. You are asked to prove root 2 is irrational. Prove that root 2 is irrational. Okay, so for proving this, first we will take root 2, on the contrary we will take root 2 is rational number. We will take root 2 is rational. So if it is a rational number, we can write this rational number as in the form root 2 is rational. On the contrary, we will take root 2 is rational. Let root 2 is rational. So if we take root 2 as rational, we can it is in the form a by b. So you can write root 2 as in the form of a by b, where b not equal to 0 and a and b are co-primes, and a and b are co-prime numbers. What do you mean by co-prime numbers? The common factor for both the numbers is 1. There is no other common factor other than 1. That is co-prime. So first we are taking root 2 is rational. We are asked to prove that root 2 is irrational. On the contrary, we are taking root 2 is root 2 is rational. So root 2 is equal to, since it is rational, we can write any rational number in the form a by b, where b not equal to 0 and a and b are co-prime numbers. Okay. Now we cross multiply this. So b into root 2 is equal to a. Just cross multiply. B into root 2 is equal to a. Then squaring on both sides. We are squaring. We have to get the result. For that we are doing this. So squaring on both sides. So when we square both the sides, what we will get? Root 2 will get cancelled. Root 2, the whole square will get cancelled. We will get only 2. So 2b squared is equal to a squared. Okay. So 2b squared is equal to a squared. So the meaning for this is a squared have 2 as a factor. A squared has 2 as a factor. That is 2 divides a squared. We can write this as 2 divides a squared. Since it divides a squared, it will divide a also. So 2 divides a. Okay. So 2 divides a. So this one we will take it as the first thing. This one we will take it as the first equation, and this one as the second equation. 2b squared is equal to a squared and 2 divides a. Okay. Now we will take a value as a is equal to 2c. Let a value, we are taking a value as 2c. So substitute this, we are substituting this a is equal to 2c value in the first equation. What is the first equation? 2b squared is equal to a squared. So in this we are substituting this a value. So 2b squared is equal to 2c the whole square. So what we will get? 2b squared is equal to 2c the whole square. So we will get 2b squared is equal to 4c squared. So we will get 2b squared is equal to 4c squared. When we simplify this, we will get b squared is equal to 2c squared. So this 2 and 4 will get cancelled. So we'll get b squared is equal to 2c squared. That is, b is having a multiple 2. You are having, b is having a multiple of 2. 2 into some value you are having. Already we have proved that a is equal to 2c. Already we proved that 2 divides a. Here 2 divides b squared. So we can write this as 2 divides b. 2 divides b. So first we said that 2 divides a. Now we are telling that 2 divides b. So we will take this as the third equation. So from the second and third equation, what can we say? We can say that b is having a factor 2. B is having a factor 2 and A is also having factor 2. But in the beginning, what we have taken? We have taken A and B are co-primes. What are co-primes? Co-prime numbers, as I told you, it has only one common factor 1. But now, what we have proved? We have proved that A and B is having one more factor. Other than 1, we are having one more factor as 2. So this contradicts the facts that A and B are co-prime numbers. So A and B have one more factor other than 1, that is 2. So this contradicts the facts that root 2 is rational. So root 2 is irrational. So from 2 and 3. So from 2 and 3, we can say that A and B have one more factor 2 other than 1. So this contradicts the facts that A and B are co-prime numbers. This contradicts the facts that A and B are co-primes. So root 2 is irrational. So we have taken that root 2 is rational. That contradiction we got now, that root 2 is irrational. So this is the thing we are asked to prove. So this is the same step that which is given in the textbook. So please follow the textbook for any proof. So this is the proof for root 2 is irrational. So like this, you can do any irrationality you can prove. So here I have proved for root 2. The same procedure you can use to prove root 3, root 7, root 11, whatever irrational numbers they are asking, you can able to prove. Okay. One more application of fundamental theorem of arithmetic is rational numbers and their decimal expansion. So sums based on these rational numbers and decimal expansion, we have it in exercise 1.4. So after this explanation, I will be doing that exercise 1.4. The previous root 2 is irrational, I told you, no, that one is same type of sums only you have in exercise 1.3. I have given you root 2 as a model. In that exercise, we are having other irrational numbers to prove. Same procedure has to be followed. So now I will be giving an explanation for this one. That is rational numbers and their decimal expansion. So you know what are rational numbers. Rational numbers is of the form P by Q, where P and Q are co-prime numbers. P and Q are co-primes and Q not equal to 0. So this is the condition for rational numbers. P by Q, it is rational numbers are of the form P by Q, where P and Q are co-primes and Q not equal to 0. Okay, now depending upon how the value of Q, depending upon the denominator Q, you can classify the given rational numbers, you can classify the given decimal expansion as terminating and non-terminating repeating. So for that one, for example, if you take 5 by 1000, okay, what are the factors for 1000 here? You can write the factors for 1000 as 5, 100, 5, 20, 2, 10, 2, 5. You can write this as 5 by 2 power 3 into 5 power 3. Okay, you can write the denominator, that is q value, as 2 power 3 into 5 power 3. So, when you find the decimal expansion of 5 by 1000, what will be the decimal expansion? It will be 0.005. Since it is divided by 1000, you will be getting, so this type of decimal expansion is called terminating decimal expansion. So, this one is terminating decimal expansion. If the denominator has powers 2 and 2 power m into 5 power n, they will be having terminating decimal expansion. One more example is 5 by 15. Okay, so this one, they are not co-prime numbers. When you simplify this, you will get 1 by 3. So, when you find the decimal expansion for this, when you divide this 3 times it will go 9, again it will go 3 times 9, it will be going on and on. So, the decimal expansion is not terminating. Okay, terminating means it does not stops at any point. So, you will be getting the decimal expansion as decimal expansion as repeating decimal, terminating, non-terminating, repeating. This decimal expansion is non-terminating, repeating. Okay, non-terminating. It is not terminating. It will not come to an end. But this is non-terminating but repeating. Non-terminating but repeating. Okay, then so in general we can say if you have the q value, that is the denominator, as 2 power m into 2 power n, 2 power m into 5 power n, those decimal expansions will be terminating. That will have either the denominator should have 2 powers of 2 or 5 powers of 5 or the product of 2 power m into 5 power m. So, if you have these conditions in the denominator, those type of decimal expansions are called terminating decimal expansion. So, if you have any other number as extra, if you have, for example, if you have 5 by 7000, if you have 5 by 7000, how can you write this decimal expansion? Denominator, how can you write? You can write it as 7 into 2 power 3 into 5 power 3. You can write it like this. So, this number won't be terminating. Okay, so this number 5 by 7000, you won't be getting a terminating decimal expansion for this number. So, it will be non-terminating repeating decimal expansion only. So, on checking the denominator, if you have the denominator as the factors of 2 and 3, factors of 2 and 3, either factor of 2, factor of 5 or factor of 2 or factor of 5 or factor of both, you can say that type of decimal expansion as terminating decimal expansion. So, others are called non-terminating decimal expansions. Now, example sums, exercise 1.4. Okay, check whether the given decimal expansions will have a terminating decimal expansions or non-terminating repeated decimal expansion. So, for this, as I told you, the denominators should have either it can be a factor of 2 or factor of 5 or factor of both. If it is having factors of these things, then they will be terminating. If it is not that, they will be non-terminating decimal expansion. Okay, so we will check this. So 3125. So the denominator for this is 3125. So we will check this 3125. We will find the factors of this. So in 5 table, 5 6 are 30, 5 2s are 10, 5 5s are 25. So 5, this one is 125. Then again 5, 25. Then again 5. So this one, you can write this 3125 as the powers of 5. That is 5 power 5. So you can write this 13 as 13 by 5 power 5. So this decimal expansion is terminating decimal expansion. So you can write it as 5 power 5. So this is terminating decimal expansion. Terminating decimal expansion. Okay, then next one, 64 by 455. We'll find the factors of 455. So in 5 table, 5 9s are 45, 5 1s are 5. In 7 table it will go 7 1s are 7 3s are 21. So the factors of this are 5, 7 and 13. So they don't have 2 or 5 or both. Decimal, only 5 is there. Other than 5 you are having 2 more factors. So this decimal expansion is not terminating, but it is non-terminating decimal expansion. So this one is non-terminating decimal expansion. Non-terminating decimal expansion. Okay, then this one. So this one you can write it as, first thing you have to check is both should be co-prime numbers. If you check these things, 13 by 3125, the common factor is 1 only. Here for this one, 64 by 455, the common factor for this is 1 only. Here this is 8 square. You don't have any common factor for the numerator and denominator other than 1. So first thing you need to check is co-prime numbers. If you take the 6 by 15, you have 3 as the common factor for this. So when you simplify this, you will get 2 by this one. In 3 table it will go 3 2s are, then 3 5s are. So 2 by 5. So in the denominator you are having 5 as the factor. So this is terminating decimal expansion. So this one is terminating decimal expansion. Okay, then this one 29 by 343. So this 343, you can write it as 7 cube. You can write this as 7 cube. 7 into 7 into 7. 7 7s are 49. 49 7s are 343. So this is also non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Decimal expansion. With this I have completed exercise 1.4. So 4 exercises we have in real numbers. All 4 exercises is over. Few sums only I have done, important sums. Based on those sums only you can do the remaining sums. So practice well, do lot of sums. Whatever doubts you have, you please message me in the comment box. In the next class I will be doing the next chapter in class 10. Okay, thank you.